could, since we're on it, we could just.
Okay, intermission.
Hey guys,
I'm Bree.
I'm Ju, and this is Kendria. Yes, this is our friend, and today we are.
It's Halloween.
Woo.
Halloween.
I have the ears.
Oh shoot, I forgot my hat. Oh well.
Oh well.
So,
I have nothing. I'm in the middle, so I'll represent for both of y'all.
yeah. So today, what are we doing?
We are going to review some movies that we have watched that are Halloween themed, but it's Disney.
Disney.
Which is our Disney friend. Woo! Probably the queen of Disney.
Excuse you.
You could be the princess. Well, no, I want to be the princess.
We are the queen. We are the Disney queen.
The queen,
Okay, great.
and I'm the princess.
Yeah. So we're all Disney fans,
Yes.
and we thought for Halloween, instead of just going with the ordinary Halloween movies, we're going to do something special and just go with Disney, what we love. So, what are the movies that we're reviewing today?
Hocus Pocus.
Woo!
Halloween Town.
Yeah.
So first I was like Halloween High, and I was like, no, we did not watch that. Halloween Town. I know Coco is not really Halloween, but it.
That's more like Myrtus. DM did Myrtus.
Yes, but it kind of has that
Day of
Halloween
the Dead.
effect, technically.
Yeah.
So we watched that. Haunted Mansion, both Muppets and original. What was the other one? Oh, Night Before Christmas.
Yes.
That's it, right?
Nightmare.
Nightmare
Before
Sorry,
Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
we should be the ones talking about it.
I am trying to remember everything, okay?
For a Disney fan, I'm very disappointed.
I am trying to go through the list, and I'm like, I'm going to forget something.
But I think that was it. Yeah, it was like
Yeah. Basically, Halloween Town is about this 13-year-old girl who loves Halloween. Her mom is against it. Her brother is more of like the sensible one in the family. And her little sister is more of just there.
yeah,
She's so cute.
Literally just there.
you know,
She's like in her own world, but she's like kind of like underdog, smartest one.
But do you realize that was like the trend for old movies? Like
It
the
was.
three siblings.
Yes,
There was always
yeah,
three
three
siblings.
siblings.
Yeah.
And it was like the main character, the one that would always help out the main character or be against the main character's
character.
ideas.
And then just
the one that's
the
just
one
the
that's just
youngest. That's just like
Get on the
So
roll.
every Halloween, Granny comes into town.
Spend some
Big
night.
big girl wants to do everything for Halloween. Mom is like, no. So this particular Halloween, being it her 13th Halloween,
Which
and
is
her
special.
last Halloween, that if she doesn't start her witch training, she's gonna lose all of her powers. Her granny's like,
But she doesn't know this, by the way. I just had to let them know.
yes, she doesn't know that she's a witch. All three of them got on the bus to Halloween Town. Of course, the younger brother's like, this isn't happening. They're just dreaming because
I'm gonna just pretend I'm a dream.
Correct. So they followed Granny to Halloween Town. They realized that a lot of people were disappearing because the Granny came to ask the mom for help. Mom wakes up, realizes children aren't there. Like, seriously? So she follows them to Halloween Town. Met up with an ex-boyfriend who happens to be the villain. Shh. But makes up with
who
an
saw
old...
that coming?
I know, right?
I know, right?
It's like so predictable.
It was.
Saw this whole spectre and they were like, oh, mom got frozen in time, Granny got frozen in time, so who's it left up to save the world? The three children. Oh wow, did we not see this coming?
It's true.
Since it's Halloween, we need to talk about the scariness level. So like think
0.
about
Oh no, that's
the
not scary.
mind of a child.
0.
Think
Okay, you want to go with mind of a child? Maybe 10.
like,
The
if
guy was a little, he was ugly. Well, not the actual mirror, but the monster of
That
him.
he was portraying.
The monster, yeah. You
Okay.
would give him a 10. He
I
wasn't
wouldn't
that
say
scary.
10.
I would say 5.
yeah, I would say that on a scariness level, that would probably have been a
Trust me,
You wanted to go on a kid's level. Some kids, it might be a 10. But it's not really that big of a deal. It's not that scary.
Hocus Pocus and Nightmare Before Christmas was way scary.
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
I'm thinking. Okay.
Yeah, but I would have given Hocus Pocus more than a 10, I guess.
Are we not
we
ready?
ain't got it
Okay,
yet. We ain't
10?
got it yet. We ain't got it.
Oh, I meant
Were
from
you-
1 to 100.
Oh,
I go with a 2.
That's a very good question.
Honestly, this was not one of my faves, so I don't have a favorite part.
I think I would go with
so.
when they got the scepter with whatever thingy, the
Scepter
working, like the togetherness between the two
when
sisters.
they had that little bond.
Okay. Yeah, that little bond.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know of Debbie Reynolds, but like she was actually the grandmother in Halloween Town, and like I found that really cool because she's like an icon.
Yeah.
So
she
like
is.
knowing, like rewatching that, I don't think like when I first knew about Halloween Town I even like put 2 and 2 together and realized that she was like actually part of the main
because,
cast.
like,
Fair enough.
Because
But,
when we would have watched it, we would have been younger.
Yeah. No, and I don't know if you guys do this too, but generally if I rewatch old movies, I go to Google and I just
Me
like
too.
Google to
Me
see
too.
what they want and stuff.
Me
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I
So
totally do
like
that.
seeing how the cast grew up, and
Yeah.
one of them is actually a boxer, like the little girl.
The one that plays Sophie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about your favorite character in the movie? Like,
I would have to say Grandma Aggie.
I was about to say that she was my favorite as
Yeah.
well. Like just like the
It's just-
quips and the
Yeah, and I mean like how
personality.
underhand, especially the fight in the kitchen she had with her daughter when she was like, "It's a chicken."
Yes.
And then just turn into chicken.
And
And
then
then
how it keeps best in its natural state.
And then when she was like to get it back, I was like, the least favorite or the person you didn't like in the movie.
Again, it wasn't a favorite movie for me, so I really didn't have a character. I didn't really.
I mean, from the beginning, the mirror had
Right.
always. I mean, not that you didn't know that
No,
he
he was just
wasn't,
always creepy.
but yeah, he was always just creepy, and
Yeah,
it was just
he was
like,
just, he was. You could sense that he was a bad guy.
yeah.
Let me just be
He
honest.
was giving like Predator vibes when he kept
He
offering
was.
like
Yeah.
the candy.
So-
I think like for me, I wouldn't say least favorite, but he was the most annoying. The brother.
The brother.
Like I
Definitely.
just couldn't understand how you're like seeing magic in front of your eyes, and you're like, how old was he? Like 11, 12?
Something
Probably
so.
so.
And you're just there,
Maybe 10
like,
youngest.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you're there like, this is a dream. This is not real.
I think too.
and like,
and I
Oh,
think to
sorry,
another
I just
person,
yawned you open.
I think to another person that would have think for me would have been the mom. Like she was
Yeah.
like, oh, I want you to be a normal girl. I want you to be this. I want you to be that. But Marnie did not want to be a normal girl. Why is she
She
pushing
knew.
what
Yeah.
she wanted on her
I think
daughter?
she was like portraying the typical parent.
Yes.
That like your child has dreams and things that they want to pursue, but the parents know, like, especially if they've been down that road before, they know that's not what's best for you.
But
Not only
wasn't-
that,
honestly,
it's like-
what wasn't best is like, okay, she's a witch. She's a witch.
It's like
Okay.
she
she was
wants
like- she
what
was
she
born.
wanted her, like what she wished her life was.
Yeah,
She wished
well,
her life
yeah.
was normal,
I think that
and
was
she
it.
wants her children to be normal.
Cool. So you want to give the
What?
over?
I can't remember nobody
I
names.
guess like
But anyway, so
You don't need to remember the names.
it starts with Eddie Murphy and his wife,
Evers is the Evers family. That's all you need to remember.
Correct.
Ever's family. I
Oh,
didn't.
dear.
Evers and Nevers.
Anyway, basically they're realtors.
Sorry.
And long story short, the mansion comes up, the haunted mansion comes up to be, getting ready to get for sale. And they call the wife and was like, oh, but I only want you to come. We're all suspicious. But the family, he had forgot to go to dinner. It was their anniversary, right?
Yeah,
it was
Yes.
their anniversary.
And he knows his anniversary because they were signing papers and he was like, I have to go. And then the family was like, oh, did you just sell them at the house? And he's like,
Well, yeah.
how may I help you?
Welcome to Evers and Evers.
He was like, oh, we're taking the weekend off. We're going to the lake, blah, 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 blah. So they drive up to the mansion and it's like, beep, beep,
Gate suddenly opens by
Gate-
itself.
yeah,
And
suddenly.
we still continue to drive in.
It's true.
I mean,
everything that real
At that
suspicious.
point, I probably wouldn't have money because it's a mansion. They probably had automatic gates.
Bridget,
But
we
They
talked
had-
about back in the when was that? Film?
That was 2003, so they probably had that. It was an old mansion.
all right. We'll give
Anyway, they drive up and everything. They're knocking. They didn't see nothing. They're exploring. Outside, it's a cemetery. You don't want to run
Yeah,
home.
at that
You don't want to
point,
leave.
At that point, I would have been like,
Anyway, then the butler appears and was like, I thought I told you to come alone. And now he's like, they have 2 children, a daughter and a son.
The son is a scaredy cat.
Yes,
Scared of everything.
scared of
under the
everything.
sun.
He's not scared of everything.
He's
He's
scared of
spiders.
spiders. It was something else he was scared of too.
But these spiders is like the main
Me
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like a little mama's boy, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're gone to have the dinner, and the master shows up, and the master only cares about the wife. The kids now went digging up in the chest or something, and a glowy thingy, and they start
crystal
a crystal ball.
With Madame Leonora.
Anyway, and they went following it.
They went talking to it.
Something just, I think,
Maybe a leaf.
yeah.
Okay.
And they went and follow it, and it led to a picture of the
Master's
Master-
fiance.
yes, which looks just
That's-
like their mother.
That supposedly killed herself.
Yes, killed herself.
No, he found Leonora.
Yeah.
Leonora told him what was happening,
yeah.
what went on, and I think it was him who found the will, the hidden letters
The
as well.
letters.
Yes,
The children also made friends with the maid and the butler, who were
Trapped.
who were trapped.
They were trying to find
So
peace.
basically,
Yeah.
everybody in the mansion was
Are
a ghost
ghosts.
who was trapped.
basically. Oh, ends up that the family, as in the father and the two children, have to go find a key to save the mother, basically. So it's all about
Because the butler was reenacting what happened with the fiance with the mother.
with the mother. Yes. So in the end, they realized that the
butler did it.
I was getting there, but
Sorry, I wanted to do that.
the butler poisoned the
Fiance.
fiance and wrote a different letter to give the master.
Who then killed himself,
Yes.
which then haunted the whole entire house.
So in the end, butler dies. Mother
He's
kind of
dragged to hell.
yeah, he is dragged, and then he tried to drag the husband, but
The
master saved him.
master.
Yeah,
And
then
the master and the globe that the children followed was actually the spirit of the fiance, who then possessed the wife. They kissed, blah 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 blah.
That was such a hilarious scene.
It was.
yes,
Eddie Murphy had to tap him and was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
get my wife.
That's my wife.
And then the two of them ascended to heaven with all of the lovely people who were in the mansion.
yes.
Let's talk about the visualization first.
Better.
I thought that it was really good for a 2003
It
movie.
was.
It was
It was.
really well
CGI
edited.
effects were really good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially that scene where Eddie was like looking at himself in the mirror.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
know what you
like
mean.
yeah, and he just like saw like the ugly like
Yeah.
zombie version of
To
himself.
me, too,
that
the
was
part
pretty
that
cool.
was really good too is remember when I had the ghost dancing in the ballroom.
Oh,
yeah.
And the quartet. The quartet was actually pretty well done too.
yeah. I would say for me, the master. He was wronged on so many levels. I had a Romeo Juliet vibe coming from him.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
True.
It was like so sad. The man didn't do nothing. The man did just want to marry his true love, but the butler like,
Nope.
she gonna bring down your status. I'm
That's
gonna
true.
kill her, dude.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody asked you nothing.
But I think I will have to choose the daughter. She's
Okay.
pretty. Like
Just because she's pretty.
no, I was gonna say she was
meant pretty dot, dot, dot.
Yeah. Like I was thinking what word I wanted to say.
Ah.
Like if I wanted to say she was pretty smart, she was like she pretty much had her head on.
I'm more with the comedic stance. I would say Jim Evers, but it's because Eddie Murphy always cracks me up all the time. So
Eddie
like
Murphy's
just
an idiot.
just the scenes that he had, especially
I
that
agree.
kitchen scene where he was just looking, he was like, and he was like, "Don't worry, it's not your mother."
Yeah, yeah, children. 'Cause the children like, dude. Then my man
Yeah,
just
yeah.
goes like,
Excuse me.
Yeah,
that's not my wife.
Yeah, he just cracks me up. So I would
I agree.
say
Yeah,
Jim
I agree
Evers.
too. I agree.
Yeah, he had to be. Yeah. What about your favorite
Moment?
scene in the entire movie?
when as again I'm going with the whole Romeo Juliet thing
Aw.
because honestly to me they were wrong just like Coco. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So I do not like people being wronged for nonsense.
Fair enough.
So when the master and his fiancée were reunited, justice being done, I think that was the best part for me.
Mine was when he got locked out, so he had to use the car to get
yeah,
back
to
in.
get back
And then he started fight. Well, not
Yeah.
him start fighting really, but fighting the soldiers.
Yeah.
That was my best part.
I like that. Brie.
I actually do agree with you
Yeah.
in that scene, but more for when what was her name? Madam
Oh,
Leonora. Right, when she told him, like, you know, it's only when you give up that is considered failure, and
Yeah,
he had like that little talk with him.
I love how sarcastic she is, though.
Yeah,
and she
I
was
love
her
yeah.
line too when he was like, "I coming back." Like she was like, "Yeah, where am I?"
Yeah,
Gonna
like,
go, like, seriously.
but yeah, I definitely love like how she inspired him in that scene because
Yeah.
it was like, you know her as just a fortune teller, but she's also
Yeah.
pretty deep. So it's definitely that for me.
So as per usual, the camera died.
Yeah, it's like such a trending thing with us.
It's true.
sad.
Is you can't have a great video with us if the camera does not die in between shooting. Right?
It's not.
Yeah, honestly, it just seemed like a parody of the original movie.
Yeah.
There was a great Gonzo before that went into the Haunted Mansion and never came out.
Came
so
out.
he wanted to.
It was the
there
100th anniversary.
Right, of his disappearance, and there was like this challenge going around where people would go into the Haunted Mansion and try to see if they could survive the night.
Even though it was just him.
Yeah,
This time.
but no one has ever survived the night. He wanted to see if he would get it done.
Yeah.
He went with his friend Pepe. I love Pepe. I spoiled that because he's my favorite character. Anyway, right. So he went with his friend Pepe to this haunted mansion. Pepe was a whole mess and a half, and and they ended up going through some really interesting things, like seeing some really interesting ghosts and all these things.
Different things.
And Pepe ended up almost getting married and killed, and
Yeah.
and yeah. And then Gonzo actually made it through the night.
He
There-
conquered his fear.
Yeah, there was this thing where you can escape the whole night thing if you are able to conquer your fear. He conquered his fear. He was able to leave, but then he realized no Pepe, so he had to go back in and try to save Pepe.
Jump out just in time because you had to leave before sunrise.
Right, yeah, or else
Left
you would.
just in time,
turn
and then
into
to
a
find
ghost.
out that the host was the magician.
Yeah, pretty much.
That honestly made sense.
Yeah.
That really does.
So it was interesting, I would say, like in terms of the cinematography and stuff.
Yeah.
It
clips
brought
I saw
so
too.
much nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's true.
'Cause-
I just wish you saw a little bit more clips of the other.
Yeah, because
it was like
very
2
short
seconds.
cameos
2 seconds.
of everyone.
Yeah.
I guess because it
Even-
wasn't really about them this time.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like the cameos were the same for the Muppets and the guest stars, which I found really weird because it's a Muppets movie. But yeah, so there were so many, and then even like John Stamos and like there were so many, and
Sweet mama.
Taraji.
Yeah,
she
she
actually
was
played
Taraji.
one of the main roles.
Yeah, she was the
though.
main role.
She was. I feel like they were trying to make her like the female.
Antagonist or
Right, no, but
protagonist?
like the female version of the same master, but just giving
Oh,
it a twist on
So the
plot.
protagonist.
Yeah, so she actually was the antagonist because
Oh,
they
okay.
turned it into like a villainous sort of plot where she was trying to like marry people to
people.
kill them and take their souls.
Chop
So-
hit their heads off.
Yeah.
And be like,
very
"You're the
interesting.
love of my life." And then she would say
Off
these
with
little,
his head.
she would say these little things, and he'll be like, "What?"
Yeah.
She was like, "What? Nothing, love."
yeah.
Yeah, that's only because Taraji.
So yeah, it was
It
interesting.
was good.
Miguel
Yeah.
loves music. His grandmother and all the ancestors don't want music nowhere about because his great grandfather.
Even parents, everybody.
Right, no one, I just said no one, nowhere about. You're listening.
You give any Bayesian version.
Correct,
Sorry,
correct,
sorry.
correct.
Keep the Beijing version.
I'm
Right,
gonna have to
right,
put
right.
I like it.
subtitles.
I like it. I bought it.
Right, so none of the family wanted music because his great grandfather, who no one knows what he looks like, left them supposedly to play music. Yep, okay. Miguel want to meet the great grandfather. They had the dance celebration with Bridget laughing.
No. You didn't get to that part yet.
What part am I missing?
He not that he wanted to meet the grandfather, but he wanted to play in the
He wanted to play music.
he wanted to play for the Daddy Dad. They have like this like
I thought we could need some research.
Sorry, it's a
Let me
concert.
help
It's not really a
y'all.
concert.
It's a competition.
A competition, right? He
Let
wanted to
me
do the
help y'all
competition. His grandmother found out, and it was like, you can't play music. I'm actually his guitar.
This is not short.
He ran. I got it. He ran away. He ran away. He had to go find a guitar to play in the competition. He stole. What's his name?
But
Ernesto.
you forgot to mention
Bree,
that
take it over, Bree. Take it over. Oh my goodness. You
Ernesto
I never
is
will
the
get
guy.
there.
Hush, hush,
We will
hush.
get there
But
when I
you
say
have to
he.
say who Ernesto was.
When I said whose guitar he stole, then we get into
We're supposed to
Ernesto.
be keeping this short. Bree, take it over.
But you gotta say that he stole the.
Okay,
Go
so he had this famous. He was inspired by this famous musician Ernesto, who was like well known for his music and whatever. So he ended up stealing his guitar and ended up in the other world, which would have been like
Land of the dead.
Yes. And he thinks that
of
this is
course
his
it was
grandfather.
Dia de los
Great-grandfather.
Muertos, where the dad gets
Day
to
of the Dead.
Yeah, where
Yes.
the dad got to come out once a year to be with their family and to see how everyone is doing and all this gracious stuff. And the whole plot twist, well, not twist, but the whole thing was that he couldn't be there more than sunrise because then he would turn into one of the dead. So his family was trying to get him back, and they were like, your condition is that you can never play music again. He didn't want that, so he sought the aid of
Hector.
So he sought the aid of Hector, and Hector was like this sleazy guy who no one really liked.
He was
where
not sleazy.
he was sleazy in terms of like he manipulated people.
He was not sleazy.
Anyway.
Hector.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
he sought the aid of Hector. They went to look for Ernesto, and long story short, it turned out Ernesto was actually the bad guy, and he stole Hector's music
And guitar.
And
and
guitar.
killed
And killed him.
Hector.
Listen.
And all Hector wanted to do was go back to his family.
He just wanted to go back to Coco.
And Coco there forgetting about her father.
So, and he started to disappear because the way that you would stay on the I guess the other side or in general is
in their
if the
memories.
person that you're associated with, and it has to be somebody that knew you.
Or
And
your
they-
story has to be passed along.
It has to be passed on, but
Not
through
that, they-
someone that
Right.
knew
The
you.
picture had to be up. That's the whole
That's the
part of
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
The picture has to be up, and if your picture isn't up, the last person to who knew you
Who knew you
has
as their
to be
die.
able to tell
If
you.
they're
But the
die,
thing
he
about
dies.
Coco as well is that she never used to talk, and she was
All she-
out.
yeah, all she was saying
she
was
was kind of
Papa.
like
She had Alzheimer's.
Right.
But all she would say, remember when he was going by the picture or whatever, he was like, Papa, Papa.
Yeah, but
She had Alzheimer's.
Right,
Yeah.
so she wasn't coherent enough that she could actually tell his story anyway.
It's true.
In the end, Ernesto get trapped on meet a bell again, which is how he get killed, which I was
It's
very
true.
happy about.
Hilarious.
It was
I
hilarious.
was happy.
Everybody found out the truth because they had a camera showing what was happening at the back, and he went to almost kill the little boy.
This was at the Day of
which
the
is
Dead
Miguel.
concert.
Yeah, this is at the concert. He threw Miguel over.
In the Land of the Dead.
Yeah. He threw Miguel over.
A cliff.
The grandmother, the grandmother's spirit animal caught him and everything, but the picture got away, and then so he had to get sent back home because time was running out. He was like, Coco, your papa loves you, remember him or whatever.
He
and
sang,
then
remember
he
me. The Coco pulled out a picture, put it up, and the next year when Coco died, Coco and everybody else get to come across and that's the review the picture. There we go.
Alright, so visualization.
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
actually
really
really
well
good.
done. Especially like when you saw the transition between when he was transitioning into the
Yeah.
skeleton, and you
Yeah.
saw like that was pretty cool.
That was really good.
And I loved how they captured like the culture as well.
Yeah, me too.
The,
Yeah.
the tone and everything. Fun fact: did you guys know that there's actually a Mama Coco? Can't remember her name.
Oh.
But
Oh.
that is based off of.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I did not know that part. I did not know.
So she looks exactly the same.
Oh, wow.
But
She's
you do know-
105 years
You
old.
do know that most Disney, we're straying away from the point, but you do know that most Disney pictures are actually based off of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
For sure.
Yeah.
The only problem with this though is that what I didn't like and what they were trying to get is like they wanted recognition. So they just wanted you to say like, this is based off of this lady. They
Oh,
actually
yeah.
offered her money and she didn't want it. But they took her picture and they laughed and then they never gave her credit. And they also modeled the town after the town she lives in as well.
Tis.
So that was the only
Fair.
bad thing, but it was really cool to know that.
All right.
Yeah.
Favorite
So-
character? Hector.
Hector was probably my favorite as well.
Even I didn't like him in the beginning.
Yeah,
There was
in the
nothing wrong with
beginning,
Hector.
he had like
So
a really
in the beginning, but I don't want to choose the main character. So in the beginning, it would have been just Miguel.
He
But
was the main character,
I said I didn't want to choose a main character as.
but Miguel is the mainest character of them all.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to choose the mainest person, the whole thing, as my favorite.
You're getting a little triggered. It's okay. It's
But she
okay.
Anyway,
It's okay.
continue.
If it wasn't him, it would be Hector. Even though I did not like him in the beginning, I was
There
like,
was
you
nothing
are
wrong
I
with
feel that.
Yeah.
No, but they kind of portrayed him as like a con man in the beginning.
Yeah.
You're right, but
So-
they had to because
I get
get
that.
it, no.
I get that, but
Too.
like when you first saw it, like if you didn't know much about the plot,
yeah,
or
I
anything,
saw
you
it,
would
but
come across
I
as
kind of
like,
understood why they had to because none of the family that was in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
the land and the dead, he couldn't get near them. As you could clearly see how he voice used to act around me. The rest of
Exactly.
them never think. So honestly, he had no one.
But you know what changed my mind about him? That scene where he was singing to the guy as he was passing away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what
was-
like changed my
Honestly,
perception of
from
him.
because I kind of read the plot before I watched it,
Oh.
Well,
and
yeah,
it
I didn't.
honestly that when I found out what actually happened, that hurt me because it's too real.
I actually suspected that he was the guy in the picture based off of that scene when he
And not
was,
only that too, how
like,
he
playing for
oh,
the guy.
playing for the
how
guy.
he looked.
But-
If you look at his structure built
Yes,
was
is more.
of thing. Well, Ernesto was
like
bigger. But
Yeah.
for me, it was too real because these things happen in real life,
It's true.
Yeah.
and I think that's the part that hurt me the most.
Honestly, I cried off.
I
Daddy.
find
No, I
like
can't understand
Coco
why.
was
I can't understand why because
Felt so sad. Like,
yeah, because like there are people.
all he wants is.
You understand? There are people in this real life who never got to see their family again. The family don't know what happened to them.
Yeah.
You don't have the day, the dead. You don't have nothing like that. That the family could be like, oh, you know, this is why I never came
Honestly,
home.
I would love. Not that saying that we don't know what really happens, but I feel like that would be something really cool that if we could have done.
yeah.
I mean,
so
we
the
don't
thing
know
is,
what
right,
happens, but that's
to
pretty
me,
cool.
to me, it was just too. It was. I think that's why I never watched it because the whole thing of it.
Yeah, I get
It
you.
was
What,
too real.
what I would tell you is like I watched it twice, but the first time I only watched half of it. And when I first saw it, I really didn't like Coco at all. I thought that was like, in my perception, that was one of Disney's like weakest animations in terms of plot. I was like, what is this? I understand for the culture, it's
Yeah, yeah.
great, but like plot wise, like you want
Not
to play
realistic.
music and then you end up in the
Not
other
realistic
world
how-
and all this stuff.
Not
I was just
realistic
like,
how deep it actually
right.
was.
So
It is, yeah.
rewatching it, I was like, damn, like this plot actually has a lot
I
of that.
think
Yeah.
it takes long to get to that part because not till the middle of the
Not even the middle.
almost to the
it's
end.
near the end because
Yeah.
you only really found out what happened.
So
at
like
the
a good
concert when
after,
he told him,
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
was
after
like,
a whole hour later,
it was-
and now you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you the grandfather, oh great grandfather, and you killed him.
Yeah,
Just
because
like,
Just
you
because
the
he wanted
man-
to go home.
But
Yeah.
you know that's because they were
Like-
giving it like this whole thing of him trying to find his mentor slash
Yeah.
grandfather for the whole
because
thing.
they were because
So,
honestly it's
like,
a kids movie, so they were
yeah.
trying to lighten it
So
up.
having
Yeah.
that, and it was a very dark element because
Yeah, it
like
was.
generally you don't see murder as like a plot in
It's
Disney
true.
movies
Correct.
like that. Like
Correct.
especially if
It's
the-
usually just when the
But
like,
you
the
know what?
villains,
It's
the
also
villains
Hasbi.
die.
yeah, but
He's
like
so wicked, or he's so like he
Listen.
made it a movie,
yeah.
Listen,
and I was just like, you're.
I think there's no doubt of who our worst character
It's
is.
true.
Yeah, for sure.
You see
For
Ernesto,
sure.
I would like to kill him myself.
I was so
dead,
glad what
I
happened to
mean,
him.
Yeah.
Even though Imelda tore the picture of Hector,
Coco had
always
it.
had one.
Yeah.
Yes, Coco had the piece.
Had the
Coco
piece.
had
Yeah,
the
that
piece.
was so
That
great.
was so
that
and
was
like when
so
she became
sweet.
like coherent enough that she could actually talk about, she was like, yeah, I had this picture.
And she was like,
And I
always
loved-
had this,
yeah.
and I was like,
I thought that was so sweet. Yeah, no, trust me, I understand.
And you know what I loved about that as well? the fact that Remember Me was played so much throughout.
That was my favorite song.
But it was only played when Hector was singing it and when he sang it to Coco. Because remember,
No, Ernesto sang it
well,
too.
yeah, that's how Miguel knew.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But remember, Miguel was singing all of his famous songs, and you were always hearing like the famous songs playing, but you never heard Remember
And
Me.
also,
Yeah.
I loved how it actually took me back to High School Musical 2. Remember the first song that Troy and Gabriella sang together? You Are the Music in Me. Remember Sharpay took it and
yeah.
jazzed it up. The same thing happened with Remember Me. When Hector sang it to Coco, it was so soft and mellow. And Ernesto, when he sang it, it was like, oh, just jazzy.
Yeah.
So it really showed that Hector did it for his daughter.
It's true.
And I love that.
And he was like, I never wanted it. It was just for my daughter.
Yeah,
Correct.
And I was like,
Yeah, so.
that entire scene was just so heartbreaking.
Alright, what's the next movie?
yours.
Hocus Pocus! Hocus Pocus. 300 years before the plot of the movie, they bewitched a young girl named Emily, stole her life force, turned her brother into a cat because he was trying to stop them, got hung, decided, cast a spell that they were coming back. 300 years now. After that, a virgin named Max lit the black candle.
The virgin is important, by the way.
It's true.
That part is
They
very
always bring
important.
that up.
He lit the black candle because he never believed in all of this hocus pocus. Haha. Saw what I did there. Right.
No idea.
So he lit the black candle, and lo and behold, who should come back? The Sanderson sisters. They decided that they're gonna take revenge and kill all the children of Salem and all over the world so that they can regain their youth. Please note they were only brought back for one night, and that was Halloween night. So they had this book who was said to be written by the devil himself, with all of its human bonding and stuff. The book listens only to Winifred. So they kind of elude them. They were chasing the children all across town. Children ran to a Halloween party their parents were at. The greatest song that was ever written for any of the Halloween movies was played, I Put a Spell on You. We'll get back to that. Which made the parents dance until they died. Max and Allison opened the book and it shot up this light which showed the witches where they were. So the witches captured Danny, got back the book, and started to make a potion. So coming on, Max was able to throw away the big brew that they had, and it was only one vial left, so they were going to give it to Danny. Coming up, fighting, trying to escape them. The sun is about to rise. Max drank the potion himself to stop them from getting Danny. So sun is starting to come up. They're on hallowed ground because they cannot go into a cemetery, which is weird. But what was I saying? Mary and Sarah exploded because the sun came up, so they exploded first. Winifred was on the hallowed ground, so she started to turn to stone while she was trying to suck out Max's life force. She ended up exploding because the witches were gone for good. The curse on Banks and the parents were lifted, so Banks's cat body died, but his spirit came and reunited with his sister Emily, and they walked off into the horizon.
So cute.
I know.
It was.
Favorite character? Winifred. I love her. She's so sarcastic. She's just the lead. She's just like,
Fair enough.
I actually loved like that scene where they called her ugly, and then
And
Sarah's like, what? Did they call you ugly? She's like, what were you saying?
like, she reminds me so much of Scar. She's just like, the people I have to deal with are so foolish. Because remember Scar and the hyenas?
It's
And then she
true.
had her two sisters.
And her two sisters were.
I mean, I have Mary that was all like, oh, Winifred, my darling.
It's true.
And Winifred, you're so wonderful. And then there's
Sarah
Sarah that's
is
just like,
The dumb blonde.
Yeah,
because like,
it's basically dumb blonde.
Even in the beginning, they're like, oh, what are you doing in there? Mary hides Emily's body, and Sarah's like, we're sucking the souls of children, and it was like,
looks back her and she was like, you idiot.
like, seriously?
I mean,
I
like,
like Banks.
that's what I was about to say.
Banks
Like, the
is- I
sweetest
like Banks
character for
too.
me was
Banks.
So I feel like he could be the favorite for
Yeah.
me. But yeah, I feel like these sisters were pretty comical. Mary was
Yeah.
a total idiot, so like she was like the comic relief
Yeah.
in this that.
That's
I know
it.
which one was
For me, I have multiples, but when Winnie sang "I Put a Spell on You,"
That was actually my favorite song of the
that was my
entire
favorite.
movie.
That was the
No,
the other
there were
song
more.
was "Come Little
Yeah.
Children."
Oh,
Where Sarah sang.
yeah.
Which
That
was
would be
also
put a spell.
sweet.
That was
Nice.
sweet, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, not sweet, but you know.
I mean, yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, the point of it was to be a sweet, enticing song.
Because
It's
if
true.
you even listen to the words, it was like, "Come little children, I'll take thee
to the
away
land of
to
enchantment. Like, it was like one of those. Yeah. It was,
I love "I Put a Spell on You," especially with the end when they were like,
When-
"Oh, Hickey, da, 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 da."
yeah, and everybody was
sorry, yama yama.
That's actually like a really catchy song because I
Yes.
remembered hearing like that part in like other songs that I would have like listened to, but I never, because I hadn't watched Hocus Pocus, I didn't know where it was from.
Ah,
And then when I actually watched it and I knew, I was like, oh yeah, I actually could vibe with
I
it.
love
Yeah.
too when Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, and my girl Jordan Sparks, they actually made that song.
Yes, I remember
Okay,
that. That
That was
performance.
so good.
Yeah,
that was
I
really good.
Yeah. You know what's my favorite scene?
Tell me.
The bus scene. That was my
Yeah.
As a child, that totally went over my head.
I was just like,
Disney
what
with
do
their
you-
innuendos.
What is this contraption you're on? It's
Listen.
it's a
I see
contraption
you.
of many
Oh.
desires. What do you desire? I desire children. Well, you know it may take a few children.
Wow. The innuendos. Nah, you know the next one that was nice too. When they were in the master's house.
Oh, the devil.
Yes.
Yeah, and they were like,
And they were like all dancing with him, and his wife was like, "What's this? What's
this?
this? Get out! Get out!" It was
Get
like, and they were
out.
like, "But they call me master." and his wife was like,
That was
she was like,
good.
"Oh, I'm not afraid of you." And then they were like, "Sick him!" and they got run out by a dog.
Nightmare Before Christmas is a movie about the Pumpkin King, who is known as like the king of scaring on Halloween.
And we can definitely see why.
Jack Skellington. So, and literally all of the monsters in Halloween Town praise this guy. Like, he is even above the mayor.
It's true.
Well, not.
Well, most.
mean
So
most.
that's a most.
Let's not get into that
Yeah,
yet.
most. I mean, he even makes more decisions than the mayor. The mayor comes to him for
It's true.
advice
It's true.
on like Halloween
I think
stuff.
because like he's actually the king of Halloween.
Yeah, he's the Pumpkin King.
Yeah.
So he has been doing this for so long that he becomes bored of his job, and he's like, you know what, I need something else to do. I'm getting too bored of this. So he takes a walk because he gets depressed, and he's like with his Zero, his dog,
yeah.
his ghost dog,
His ghost
and he comes
cute.
across this entire forest full of trees, and each tree has like a holiday on it. And he like looks around, he sees like Thanksgiving and all this, and then he comes across the Christmas tree that he finds like so enticing.
Can I please just do it?
Sure. What's this? What's this? There's
Something everywhere.
Why am I so
Anyway.
sleepy?
We
I'm
almost
here
done.
yawning my life away. Do not know why.
Alright,
I needed
so-
that coffee.
I feel you. And plus we haven't eaten yet, so that's
Oh, yeah.
part of
Yeah.
I took a nap
Yeah.
before I came.
Fair.
it. Lucky.
It's true.
Back to Halloween.
Right. So
Yes.
he goes into this tree, he discovers this place called Christmas Town. And he's like, oh my god, what's this? He's looking at everything. He's seeing like all these trains and all these festivities and lights and all this loveliness. And he's like, I need this in my life. Wait, no, I don't need this in my life. I need to be in charge of this. Like, this is my holiday now.
Did you guys think that he was kind of a control freak?
Yes,
Okay.
he really was.
Okay.
So he's like, you
I
know
thought
what?
it was only me who got
no. So he goes by and he tells everybody about Christmas. He tells everybody about this thing called Christmas.
Yeah.
And about Sandy Claus, who he thought had actual claws.
Sandy Claus.
Yeah.
Sandy
Sandy
Claus.
Not San. Not Santa
Sandy
Claus.
Claus.
Sandy Claus.
So everybody's like, oh, okay, so we can like use this idea and pretty much scare children at Christmas. And he's like, no, that's not what we want. And they're literally, he tries to make it into a nice holiday and turns it into a complete mess because at the end of the day, they're still monsters.
Exactly.
They're still scary
You
children.
forgot a part.
So
He kidnapped Santa Claus.
I wasn't there yet.
Oh, she wasn't there yet.
I
Sorry,
got to
spoiled
the
that.
part where he was telling them about it.
Yeah.
Erase that.
But to her point, in telling them,
So
he had a mission to.
no, so
Not
what he
him,
wanted,
not
because as he
No,
wanted
just
it to
take him
be
out a
his
little
holiday, he hired 3 children who are actually the children of the Oogie Boogie Man. So
Lock. It was Lock, Shock, and
can't remember.
way one name always.
Yeah, I don't remember, but
Anyway.
they were like the most annoying children
Yes,
ever.
very.
He himself didn't
Yo.
really like them on a general basis, but
Did
they
you
were known
guys-
for being
Not
troublemakers.
thinking, but did you guys ever heard the theory behind them?
No, but.
One of them were, let's say this is of course fan theories.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
One of them was shocked, which is shock. One of them, I can't remember what Lot was, but the other one, we can't remember the name, was frozen to death.
That's why he's so
Blue.
blue, yeah. And he looks like
Sorry, I can't remember the next.
okay.
Just
That's
a little,
interesting.
just a little fact there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he hires them to kidnap Santa, and of course they've never seen Santa before. So they end up
Sandy Claus.
kidnapping the Easter Bunny at first.
That was funny.
And then he was like, you know, it has a Christmas tree on it, so go on that one next time. And they end up getting Santa Claus. And the thing is, they have like this alliance with the Boogeyman. So
It's the Oogie Boogie.
because no one really likes the Boogeyman, Jack Skellington wanted them to keep it a secret from him, but they have this alliance and this loyalty that they really couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So he ended up torturing Santa Claus that entire time as well. So now, as Jack Skellington becomes Santa Claus, he makes a mess of everything. He gives people like voodoo doll heads, what do you call those? The
These shrunken heads.
Right. He gives them like these shrunken heads. He like makes a whole mess of the holiday.
Yep.
He got
But
shot
to
down
be
by
fair,
the
it wasn't
military.
his fault.
It wasn't. How wasn't it?
Because, yes,
Please explain to me.
remember, in theory, right?
In theory.
He wants to give them gifts, and he doesn't want to scare them, but they don't know better.
In
But-
theory, it was his fault because he should have stayed in Halloween Town and not go to Christmas.
True.
Because
But
that
he
was
had
not
a
his.
good heart.
Because that was not his holiday. So
He had
obviously
a
he
good
could not do anything
heart.
Christmassy.
I mean, I don't even know if it was a good heart thing. I think it was just that he was bored with
Yeah,
it.
that's
Like,
true.
oh,
It was just
That
like,
he
is
wanted
true.
something new to do.
it was like, oh, I see you. I do you. I want to do you.
But his intentions wasn't to scare them or, you
He
know.
was just like taking complete control of
But
the
he was
entire
just,
holiday.
He was just doing what he knew.
Yeah.
And
It's
he only
true.
knew to scare. So again, it was his fault.
Exactly.
It was his fault.
I mean, his fault and the monsters because they're the ones that did the.
It's the
Yeah.
monster's fault. The monsters is the ones
You're
that...
just not
It
blaming
wasn't
Jack,
just
are you?
him.
Okay.
It wasn't just
She's
them,
just
but it
not.
was like
No, she's just not blaming Jack. She's
I
just not
think...
blaming Jack.
the
I
man
think-
came across all like skeleton reindeer, and you expect that to not scare children.
I'm listening.
He could do better.
And a ghost dog leading it.
Bree,
He could do better.
you were sleepy. Bree, finish your
Anyway, so mess of the holiday.
Just
he gets,
ignore this one right here.
he
okay?
gets shot down by the military. Everybody's just a mess. So he's like, okay, you know what? This really isn't my holiday. I
need to
really
go back and
just
get Santa Claus."
enjoy being. But he actually came
Yes,
to the
he-
realization that he does Jack Skellington, Pumpkin King,
true.
Halloween the best.
You think?
So
The man wore black and white. You think?
Hello.
so he goes back. He rescues Santa Claus because, as I said before, he
It's
was
the
getting
Oogie Boogie Man.
he was getting tortured by the boogeyman.
Oh, is his song? Why can't I remember his song?
Singing?
The Oogie Boogie Man song.
He had a...
I can't remember his song.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Bye-bye.
I'm the Oogie Boogie Man.
Bye-bye, Oogie Boogie Man.
So then, after
Christmas
that,
was saved.
Christmas was eventually saved because it was Santa Claus.
And
He
Santa
could
Claus
do
brought snow.
anything.
Sandy Claus.
Sandy
And
Claus
then it
brought
ends
snow.
with You know, I actually forgot to mention her this
Sally?
entire.
Yes.
The last time I said anything about you mentioning anything, I was getting there. So I told myself, you know what?
And I was like,
Nope,
So
not again.
let's
I
get
can't
to
remember her
Sally.
name.
Sally?
Yeah, so Sally was
can't remember
actually like the female version of Frankenstein's monster,
It's true.
who was actually made by Finkelstein. Professor Finkelstein? What's his name? Right. And then, so her thing is she wanted a better life and he was just keeping her trapped the entire time. So she tried to poison him with...
It did work.
It worked.
deadly nightshade all the time. Like, that was her thing.
She made it into soup.
Yeah.
She made it into a
I
lot
was
of
like,
things.
why
'cause it
did
was
you
tea.
make something
Nah, the last-
stronger?
the
It
last
was tea and soup.
The last thing that worked was the soup because
Yeah.
then she put frog's breath or something
Right, but
in it.
remember he said this is the second time. She was like third, so it means it worked 3 times before.
He was an
He's
idiot.
an idiot because
Yeah.
if somebody's poisoning me at least once, I've never eaten it
Yeah,
and
it's
ever
true.
again. Like, I don't even understand. Anyway,
You see?
so she becomes like, she has like a really infatuated with Dan Stanton. She loves him.
yeah.
When the story started too, she was just like a couple days old. Because he had just made her.
Right, that is true. So she's like infatuated. She loves him. She tries to actually warn him because she gets like these premonitions, and she saw that the whole Christmas like they was gonna go to hell.
Yeah.
and she,
I mean, like,
she was like, sir.
like, come on.
It's true.
And he was like, I'm not listening to you.
You're
Do
the
your
mom.
job.
You're the pumpkin
She's
king.
like, just make my costume, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean,
much.
you're the pumpkin king. How could anyway?
So at the end of the movie, he kind of notices how much she's done for him and all that stuff, and they have like this really nice, cute, romantic type moment.
And song.
That fades
I
out.
remember the
And
song.
Right.
But back to cinema.
So the cinematography was extremely impressive, and let me tell you why. That entire movie is stop motion, which
Yes,
is like the
yes.
hardest thing
yeah.
to do.
Was it Corpse Bride stop motion?
I think
and
Corpse-
Frankenweenie too?
I didn't watch
Frankenweenie?
No, I didn't watch it either. But I mean, when I saw the
Frankenweenie probably
clips,
is.
when I saw the clips of Frankenweenie,
I think Corpse
it
Bride
looks
is
like,
as well.
yeah.
But did you know that actually took 3 years to make?
Wow.
3 years. And I assumed they were working like every day almost.
Yeah, because it's gotta be like
So it's
stopping.
like
They gotta
stop
be like
motion
film
is
and stop
so-
and
film
film
and
and
stop.
stop and move and stop and so it's. I saw something doing that already.
Yeah,
Some
stop
picture.
motion is amazing.
Yeah.
It was
So-
actually a picture. It's actually a movie filming. They making the stop.
Interesting.
This was like what?
Yeah, so for that reason alone, I was just impressed.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
and the thing is, like, I had to Google because I was like, when I watched it again, because you know, watching this as a kid, you're like, oh, cartoon. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But like watching it again, I was like, hold up, is this stop motion? Especially
You
that
don't-
scene when she like unravels her thread.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, hold
Because a
up.
lot of these things go over our head as children.
Yeah,
It's
for
true.
sure.
Because we're just like, oh look, cartoon. Oh look, someone. Ha 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 ha. Music. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
we
it's
done.
basically how
That's
it
true.
is. So yeah.
But now as an adult, we sit down and think, nah, be sign it right there. Sign it
It's
right
true.
there. We think too deep as adults.
For sure. Yeah.
Favorite
Okay.
character.
Favorite character for me was probably, well, actually it's between Zero, because Zero is like so
Super
adorable.
cute.
And
Super cute.
I honestly did like the Oogie Boogie children.
No,
You did?
no.
I
Sally
did.
was for me.
I mean, Sally to me
That was so sweet.
was sweet,
Yeah.
but I feel like the whole plot of her trying to like poison Finkelstein all the time, I was just like over it. I was like, bro,
I feel like she should have done a
calm
better
the heck
job
on.
I know.
So-
poisoning him, but she was mine.
But the reason why I like the Oogie Boogie children was not even because of them, but just because of the sibling dynamic and how they were always fighting. So it was like really, it was like kind of like a funny, because whenever they were there, even though they were annoying, they were pretty funny. So it was like
Yeah, I feel
comedy relief for me.
To me, it's the one and only
Jack
the pumpkin.
Ellington.
Fair enough.
How
Yeah,
can
true.
you not? He
It's
was
true.
You
It's true.
see, especially my favorite scene, jumping right to that. Sorry, was when he was coming up after This Is Halloween. You see when they were talking about him, our Pumpkin King, and he comes in and this thing, he's like also like I'm a dummy and flames. Then he jumps into the well, and then my man just raises. I was like, that's how you do it.
Yeah, Jack Skellington was also one of my favorite characters because he had like that finesse and he had like
the man knew he it was like
he knew he was the greatest.
He did. It's like I know I'm scary. I know I'm the king, but you know I'm still gonna keep it down low unless you tick me off. Then I gotta show you who I am.
Yeah. Also with that fight scene between him and the Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, like that was a good scene.
That was. Is there any other song in Nightmare Before Christmas? It has to be This Is Halloween.
I actually like to watch this.
I like
watch this though. Because watch this was like, oh my gosh, this dude is so like a child. What's this? There's something everywhere.
Which also leads into one of like my favorite scene because I like the whole song and everything. So I think that is my favorite scene.
Okay.
Plus favorite song.
Yeah.
We would be children. They were so damn annoying. Sorry, Brie.
I just think the mirror I didn't like.
Let me hear his.
I didn't like the Frankenstein.
I actually never really played the mirror.
Actually, I would say Finkelstein was probably my least favorite. He creeped the hell out of me.
No, he was annoying.
Yeah,
too.
And annoying.
He was definitely
obsessive over Sally.
For the mirror, I never, because like the mirror, we saw him in a few scenes. It was like,
he was there.
Our Pumpkin King Jack, his face turning. He talked to Jack a little bit, and then boom, mirror gone again.
He was just
there. But my thing is like, as a mirror, how did you even get that position? Because the man is like, is interesting. Like he has two personalities, a very happy one and a very like anxious and freaked out one, right? And it's like he's always good like when things are good, but like in the slightest thing of pressure, like that other personality takes over and he's like freaking the heck out.
Yeah.
So it's like
but you know that's just how some of the politicians and stuff are like.
Yeah, I mean I understand, but it's like that's why it was just not like he wasn't like one of those.
Honestly, I never really remembered him, to be quite honest.
It's true,
but definitely Finkelstein was like.
What you saying that we missed?
Yeah, the one that we missed is like to rate the scariness. We missed that for the rest of the movies. Nightmare Before Christmas, I would say would have been like the scariest.
Yeah,
because and even though it wasn't scary coming down to the middle of it, the whole how it is showed, how it starts, how it even like.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're monsters.
Correct. Even like Corpse's Bride. The Corpse's Bride is not scary, you know. But what makes it scary is how it's portrayed. Correct.
Yeah.
So
that's what I really like about that stop motion as well, because I think that's like it was like a deliberate thing for them, because that really does bring out the characters a lot more. Like if you see Finkelstein, I am sorry, I will keep bringing him up because he gave me the absolute with like his long mouth and everything. It just like his
head that opens and
so like putting that in stop motion, I don't think it would have had the same effect if that was like a 2D animation.
Yeah, it's like, true.
Yeah, so
even Oogie Boogie, because remember when he got destroyed and all the bugs came out and stuff like that. So it was.
I agree. So favorite movie.
Yeah, well, you know my favorite movie is.
I'm gonna go with
Hocus Pocus.
And Night Before and The Nightmare Before Christmas is my second.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if any Disney ideas that y'all have for a video, and we will surely do it. Especially
or any ideas for videos in general.
In general, but Kendra is all for the Disney ones.
Or any videos actually.
Alright, so thanks for joining, guys. Until next time.
Bye. I was like, I have Charlie. I grab her. Like, she's like,
she was actually really supportive, our friend, but she was trying to like do the same challenges